there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another RebelScum.com video. And today, I have the pleasure of being inside the Regal Robot booth. Regal Robot is a relatively new brand to the higher-end collectibles of Star Wars, and they hit the ground running pretty hard. I'd like to think you guys have some incredible replicas here. So, for those of you who may be more familiar with me and not so much familiar with Regal Robot, back in my Order 66 review days when I did toy reviews there, I reviewed your Rancor that you guys did. It was a beautiful, beautiful piece, nice and big. At this point, I would say it's going to be the closest thing I'm going to get to a Black Series Rancor. So, thankfully, Regal Robot did one before that happened, and it is a truly awesome piece. So, I'm here with Tom Spina. He's the founder of Regal Robot and the guy responsible for all these wonderful, wonderful maquettes you see behind me. This beautiful life-size Chewbacca bust. I can't even wait to see those Tusken Raiders roll out, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that great intro. You know, we've been around as a licensee for about 5 years now, but I've been in the business for a couple decades making monsters, doing restoration and effects work and things like that. And we've had the good fortune of actually restoring original Star Wars props for the Lucasfilm archives up at Skywalker Ranch over the years, and create monsters for commercials and things for Lucasfilm. And basically to live out all of my childhood fantasies. And I'm just sitting here going like, how's a way that we can share all this stuff we're doing? How can we come up with something that gives folks a taste of that archives that we got to explore? Give folks something like that Rancor, where we went to the archives, we scanned the original prop, and we gave something to the folks that is as close as you can get to having that real prop in there. Phil Tippett actually got one from us, and he said the only difference was that ours didn't have a hole for him to stick his hand up his butt, you know, because he's Phil, he's like that. You know, so for us, we sort of span a couple different things. We span decor, where we're doing things like, you know, really cool wood plaques, stuff that's obscure, you know, like we've got the Cantina sign, we've got the kill stripes from Boba Fett's helmet, things that you're not going to find in your average, you know, big box store or from a huge licensee. We're making all of our stuff in the U.S. A lot of it's made by hand. We've got our whole line of magnets over there that are all hand cast, hand painted. You know, it's funny, we sometimes get people who assume these things are made overseas, and it's like we want to point to someone behind the booth and like, no, she painted this. Like, it's not some nameless factory somewhere. And for us, being at Celebration is just such a great chance to connect with folks. This time around, we got to show them a lot of stuff that we haven't been able to show for about 6 months, things that we've been working on. Like with our gaffy sticks, we worked on those for almost 1.5 years. And it's something that I've had to sit at the shop knowing that I had screen-accurate gaffy sticks made from the molds that we made for Mandalorian or made from a scan of the original prop from A New Hope and not tell people. And people ask me all the time, like, oh, are you going to be doing any prop replicas? And it's like, I don't know, you know? Anyway, since I have the microphone, tell me a little about yourself.
About myself. I'm the host of RebelScum.com. Yeah, I'm just super into Star Wars, man. I love Star Wars stuff. I love unique brands that offer unique things. I mean, I love a lot of the other brands, especially a lot of the higher-end collectible brands. But a lot of those higher-end collectible brands do similar stuff across them. You've got multiple higher-end collectible brands who do prop replicas, especially helmets. Helmets is very common when it comes to prop replicas. If it's not helmets, it's lightsabers. Right. And other than that, there's not a lot of other higher end companies who are doing prop replicas that are doing unique things. Like, I don't see a lot of them. I don't see, you know, Duo Novo coming out with a gaffy stick anytime soon. I don't see EFX dropping their gaffy stick. I don't see, you know, a lot of those other guys doing it. And here it is, and it looks awesome. But at the same time, as, you know, when it comes to things like your maquettes and your busts, Gentle Giant's been doing that for, you know, years now. However, they're not, you don't walk over to their booth and you don't see a full lifelike Chewbacca, right? You don't see the full lifelike looking Tusken Raider or some of the concept maquettes like you've done here today, where Uh, and if he was here right now, my good friend Simon J. Williamson would be giving you so many mad props about your Max Rebo because every time he and I are having a conversation or doing a public event together, when people walk up and like, "Oh, I love Max Rebo," he's always like, "Yeah, well, by the way, that's inaccurate. He has feet. He doesn't have arms and legs. The toy is wrong," which you talked about in your panel the other day.
Yep. And I'll tell you what. So, actually, anybody I don't know if they're going to see this before my panel tomorrow, but if you're a Max Rebo fan, we actually have breaking Max Rebo anatomy news coming tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the Twin Suns room, where we're doing a whole panel with rare behind the scenes photos and video from Return of the Jedi. And it's actually going to blow your mind a little bit when I tell you. But, yeah, I mean, it's funny. You mentioned licenses are always a little weird. There's always going to be some cross-pollination. Lucasfilm is really good on the high-end collectibles with making sure there's a firm distinction between each. But I feel like whether it's the type of collectible or the choice of character, I think there's an underserved fan group out there. And to me, it's the folks who love the making of the movies as much as the movies themselves. Why? Because that's what I do. I watched from Star Wars to Jedi, the making of a saga, until the tape was like thin and you could see through it. And in that show, you have all of the concept maquettes. You have Phil Tippett holding up the little blue Max Rebo and sculpting the full-size costume. And, for me, I'm thinking, well, why would I just do another character when I can do something that's an artifact, something that is in the Lucasfilm archives that we can 3D scan and safely capture and then recreate for people to bring into their homes? It's more than just a statue of Max Rebo. It is a replication, a recreation of the original artifact that created Max Rebo. And, when we can get friends like Phil involved to do a signature run like we did here for Celebration, which is, I believe, just selling out literally behind me right now, that to me is just so special. I love involving the creators in what we do. When we did our Mandalorian Gamorrean there, which was the first thing Jon Favreau showed from season 2 of the Mando show, we got Tony McVeigh, who's a friend of mine, who created Salacious Crumb for the first movie, who worked on the giant Rancor hand for Return of the Jedi. We got him, who sculpted this for Mando, to get us access to his original mold so that we could recreate something that, again, has direct lineage to that original artifact. It's not just a Gamorrean sculpture. It's not just a figure. It is something that is a perfect recreation of something that was a part of the production that so many people love.
Well, and then keeping in with that uniqueness to your brand, to the point I was making earlier, another cool thing that you offer that not a lot of other higher end licensees do is in-universe decor, which I, as a Star Wars fan, find is a big deal because I love props like everybody else. I love cosplay stuff, and I love immersing myself within the Star Wars universe. But one of the things you guys do is offer a manner where people can do it in their homes. Yeah. Like, you've got the Docking Bay 94 placard right here.
Yeah.
While it might not be quite to scale for Docking Bay 94, it's a beautiful piece you could hang in your home, something that the wife probably won't look at and go, "Oh, what is that? Right. Why are you putting your Star Wars crap in my house?" Keep it in your room.
I thought my wife was here. That sounded just like her.
I know. I do a great wife impression.
Yeah.
I'm quite well known for it, especially around like the office when Heather's doing stuff. I'll do that for Heather, and she's like,
she must love that.
She does. She does. She says it sounds exactly like her all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even the chairs we're sitting in, right? So
super comfy.
Thank you. So this was a thing we've recreated these as props for things like commercials and stuff when we're working on them. And it's always super uncomfortable when you're doing a prop, So for this, it was like, how can we do this in a way that is functional, real furniture that people can bring into their homes? And, it's Star Wars to people who are in the know. If you just put these chairs in there, this is a sleek mid-century bench chair. It's not crazy Star Wars over the top. It doesn't have a picture of Boba Fett on it, We want something that makes you feel like you're in the cantina if you know. And if you don't know, you just think it's a cool chair. And yeah, we tried to make them comfortable too, which is just a nice thing. And that's the way we do with a lot of the decor. When we first started, the two thoughts that came to my mind were stealth geek, which is, doing something like the 94 plaque. Hide it in plain sight. And then the people who know, they get in there and they go like, they just give you the quiet Boba Fett nod, to Bausch with the thing, like, Or
really nice. They'll do like Don B's did and special edition and
yeah, the little cheek,
the
the Don B's. I love Don.
Don B's
But
is such a nice
he's a sweetheart. Anyway. The other thing is, our original tagline was, bring Star Wars into your life in new and unusual ways. You know what I mean? Like, that was our goal. How do we say we had done the Han Solo and Carbonite desk? That's a big overt piece. You can't miss that that's Star Wars. But like, how can we do other stuff like the Mythosaur skulls, like the Mudhorn skulls, that maybe someone looks at and just thinks like, oh, that's like a Midwest vibe sort of skull that someone's hanging on their wall. And again, it's a way to bring Star Wars in, put it on your walls, put it in your home, make it a part of your everyday life that isn't just dressing up in a costume or putting action figures on a shelf. And I think it was a place that people weren't, like that was a whole thing. I wasn't going to get a license and do all the work that comes with that unless I could bring something fresh to the table. And I like to apply that to both our decor stuff and the collectibles. And it's just awesome that people respond to it. And, being here at the show, as tired as we are on day 3 in the morning, it's just so fun and rewarding. And it just makes me so happy to be here. And I'm just so grateful you guys came by to interview me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. Guys, come meet Tom. Come meet the rest of the crew, because every single person here has had a hand at working on, if not all of these pieces, a lot of these pieces here. Somebody worked on some of it, whether it's one of our lovely painters over here or sculptors or what have you. Somebody is working on something great at Regal Robot. So come check them out. If you're still at Celebration while this video is live and up, if you're still at Celebration, come check them out. Or if you see their booth at another upcoming convention that you might be catching later or the next Celebration, come hang out with them.
And I'll just close this out. If you're not at the show, go to regalrobot.com. Check us out and follow us. We're at Regal Robot on all the socials. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of our stuff. Drop us a line. And thank you so much.
And stay tuned for future Regal Robot reviews here on rebelscum.com. I'm sure we'll be picking up a few pieces over the years. And whenever we do, we're going to review those for your viewing pleasure and show you some of the awesome products that they offer. Stay tuned for more rebelscum.com content. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss awesome interviews like this one. Let us know in the comments, let us know in the forums what you think about Regal Robot and how awesome some of their stuff is. And yeah, go ahead, ask, how can we get this stuff? Well, first things first, find them on social media, go to their website, and see what they have available that's ready to go right now, because it might just be that weird, unique piece that you needed to tie that whole display or that one room together. And of course, some of it just blends in and the wife might not know. So stay tuned for more. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel Scum.